Greetings everyone and welcome to Collector Corps. Today we're going to be looking at the Marvel Legends Fantastic War Retro Wave Marvels thing. And I've never owned one of these things. I said it in the haul video where I actually got it. This thing weighs a ton, and also his feet are sticking out the bottom of the packaging, which I think is kind of funny. But in any case, this is obviously the new Retro Wave for the Fantastic Four. Just flipping it over real quick. It's very classic toy. I've already gone over this packaging in way more detail in other reviews, but in any case, let's just open him up and see if it's clobbering time. And getting Ben out of the packaging. Oh, I'm so happy to have this figure. So, long story short, I have been, for the last year, collecting Marvel Legends as like my primary thing. It used to be Star Wars, and before that it was Lego, and I've been trying to find the Super Skrull Wave Ben Grimm, or the Thing, whatever you want to call him, for a very long time. And every time I've seen him at an okay price, I've checked with the Marvel Legends subreddit, and it's turned out that that website is basically fake. You know, it's not actually selling the item, it's just listing the item, stuff like that, so it just takes your money and you'll never get the item. I fortunately didn't fall for any of those scams, but it also meant that I've been waiting a very long time to get an actual Marvel Legends Ben Grimm. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure plenty of you have seen on my Instagram and Twitter, I post a lot of pictures of this guy. I do love my Toy Biz thing, but I needed something that aesthetically fit with Marvel Legends. And oh boy, if this isn't it, I'm so happy right now. Like, it's hard to overstate, like, just how brilliant this is as a figure. I love it so much. So, just going over some of the basic aesthetic things. Obviously, it's mostly orange. You do get the kind of short shorts, which are actually a bit longer than you'd expect most of the time. Unfortunately, though, I would have probably preferred them to put the cut there. They actually put it below. I'm not sure about that. It doesn't exactly break up the sculpt because he's a rock monster. But I would have preferred, even if it would have messed with the articulation a little, if it had been on that line instead. I'm also perfectly happy with it not being full-on briefs like a lot of people wanted. I'm perfectly happy with it just being very short shorts. And then I'm going to get over it right now rather than waiting until the accessories. This head is so gormless. My thing always has teeth. I can't help it. I just see him with teeth, and him not having teeth just makes him look like going, ooh. And there's been a few shots I've seen. I'm going to try and do it now. You can make him look way angrier if you can get the light on his eyes. 1 second. There we go. If you get his brow in, it looks way angrier and it kind of works better. But by default, he just looks a bit gormless, and I'm not a huge fan of that. I do like the head with the very big brow, like cat brow. It's very good. And then, obviously, I'm sure a lot of you have already noticed it, there is a yellowish glow on a lot of the figure. That's obviously just to show, like, light on him. It's on the top of the head, on top of the arms, and both the back and front of the body, and on top of the feet, which, that's where it's most obvious. Weirdly, like, the shoulders are very yellow, but the feet are extremely yellow. It doesn't show that much in real life. It's mostly because of the studio lights. But, yeah, I quite like it. And obviously, the rock texture is brilliant. It's basically the same mold we've been seeing for the last 2 versions of things, so the Walgreens exclusive and then the Super Skrull Wave. I really like this, though. This is really cool. And, yeah, let's just get into articulation. And going over articulation, starting at the head, we do have a ball and hinge. Allows for okay up, but nothing too special. And you know what? He buries the chin. I'm perfectly happy with that, especially for a big guy like he is. And then you actually do get a little bit of tilt, which is more than I've seen with a lot of other Legends recently. Still not much, though. And, you know, that can't really be helped with a ball and hinge, but at the same time, still, it's alright. At the body, we have, I believe it is a dumbbell joint. Allows for a bit of hula hooping action. You can crunch forward and crunch back. It's alright. I would have kind of preferred if it was an actual hinge, like a proper crunch, but it's fine as is. And you get a swivel, which breaks the sculpt at the waist, but is hidden pretty well by the line of the belt. I quite like that. At the shoulders, we have out. Pretty good. Swivel all the way around. you don't, I don't think, have swivel at the bicep. Now, there doesn't seem to be anything there, but you do get a single elbow, goes to roughly 90. I'd say a little bit less than 90, just because technically that's perfectly like down, but that's good enough for me. And then you get a side to side on the wrist, which does break up the look a little bit if you have it all the way in or all the way out. But generally, I think that's a perfectly fine thing to have. At the legs, we have out. Swivel at the thighs I've already shown, which is pretty well hidden. All things considered, I just think it could be hidden better. We have double knee, goes right up to kick himself in the ass there. And then, of course, forward, back, and I believe this is forward facing pin for rocker. It's very tough, which is good because it's obviously a heavy figure. But yeah, forward facing pin for rocker. So pretty standard articulation overall. It's just unfortunate that he's missing like double jointed arms and he doesn't have bicep. You know, he's missing a few key features, but he stands pretty well, even though if I just move the camera down now, that foot is not even like flat. And he stands perfectly. Like, that's amazing. Look, we see that so little, and it's probably because of the weight, but I'm still very happy with that. For accessories, you get two grabby hands, which I think are exactly the same. I could be wrong, but they look pretty much identical. And then you also get two clobbering fists, which I am never taking these off. This is how he's going to be forever. Unless I want to put him in like a, you know, fist in palm sort of pose. I don't think this figure can quite get into that. But anyway, yeah, fists. Very cool. And then, as I already showed, you get the kind of gormless looking toothless head, which is alright, but not exactly how I see the thing. And then you also get the far superior, fight me, toothed head, which is way angrier, looks way better in any sort of lighting. Even from below, that looks so much more like the thing to me. I really do love that. And the fact that this is an option, you know, they could have easily just given us one head and just been like, that's good enough. They gave us two, and I'm very, very happy about it. It looks so good. I love this thing. And then on to comparisons, we have my Toy Biz, I think it's called like Action Smasher or something, thing. I love this. I love it so much. It's got very big ball joints. It doesn't stand great, you know, it's very wide stance. The articulated hands are very good, but the articulated toes I do not care for. It's taller, so that's something. But honestly, I think the actual proportions on the new thing are just so good. I love this entire mold, and I think it is the case that I'm finally going to replace this guy. And it kind of pains me. I'm probably going to keep him around just as like something to fight the Toy Biz Doombot that I have and stuff. But yeah, this is the main display thing right now. I love it. It's so good. And then, of course, we have, for just a comparison of the Wave, the Pulse exclusive Retro Wave Johnny Storm, or Human Torch, I almost forgot his superhero name, powered down. And yeah, I like the colours. The colours match very well, the whites and the blues. Obviously, they're the same wave, or the same series, or whatever you want to call it. Of course, they're going to match. But yeah, I'm very, very happy with all this. And then, as always, we have the Star Wars Black Series Stormtrooper First Edition with battle damage, and the Jazzwares 49 Legendary Series Fish Stick, which, yeah, I'm not even going to make a joke that I normally make about the Stormtrooper, because this is great. I love it. The thing is amazing. I really like this figure. And on that note, that is going to be it for this review. So I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoy this figure. I'm so happy. Also, I really like this pose of him just like smashing the other head. But in any case, yeah, this is clearly a, you know, replacement for the shelf. As unlucky as it is, I do love this thing. It's so much better in every way than anything that I've had before to represent Thing in my display. And yeah, quite honestly, I think it'll be difficult to ever find a better figure to replace him with, because even though I do quite like the Marvel Select thing from probably half a decade now back, it is a brick. I much prefer posability, and yeah, this figure is just so good. But in any case, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like it, subscribe if you're new around here, and ring that bell, all that other YouTube nonsense. And yeah, I hope to see you next time. Bye! Greetings, everyone, and welcome to... I didn't turn the light on.